Bear with me as I die a small death this week. This is a weird episode this week. It's just a lot of little videos all piled together since I had had enough of doing the rear end. So yeah, sit back, enjoy. Roll the intro, let's go. Lots of little bits done in the engine bay. One little bit, there's a hole there. That's going to have this welded there when I take the engine back out. That is for a positive battery terminal, and then my big positive lead that goes down here for the starter motor goes onto there, and that's going to have a cable going all the way back to the boot for the battery. So that's my power distribution sorted. There's going to be a cable from that then to this, so that powers the engine and the car. I've made this little I'm calling it a dingus end because it looks like one, but it's a it used to be plastic, so it used to look something like this. It used to sit there, and apparently these are prone to failing, but it's also pointing off in the wrong direction, because when the radiator is here in front of the engine, there is not much room at all. So I made a custom one. All I did was cut out some plate, cut a hole in it, put some stainless tubing on there with a cap, and then I put this 45-degree bend where I needed it to be. It's only tacked in at the moment because I still need to make sure this is angled correctly once I put the front end back on. That's that. I've also done something that I may regret. So on the turbine housing, let me pull this off before it gets damaged. So on the turbine housing, normally on a standard Volvo turbo, you get this 3-stud pattern. Don't know if you can see that, but there's 3 studs, 3-inch hole, and it's just a weird flange that you need. Couldn't find one on eBay, bought some that weren't right. Decided it'd be far easier if I just put a V-band on it. So here's my welded V-band on my turbine housing. So I've done one, I haven't done the other. I'm going to do the other one now. I may regret it, I may not, but is what it is. Those turbos were cheap. A minor casualty. That was plugged in down here. I turned that on. Oops. Bye bye camera. So a little trick I learned from the Skid Factory and Al is when you're welding cast, keep the heat in it as long as possible. So I've hidden it under some welding gloves. Hopefully they ain't burning. To keep the heat in, to let it cool down as slowly as possible, and hopefully it won't crack. So we leave that for a bit. Then we're going to finish the downpipes off. So I'm going to go fit one of them now. Cut that stupid end off there, and see if we can fit a V-band. Okay, it's been a few hours. Let's check the bun in the oven. Didn't burn the garage down. That's a good thing. And it's cooled. Hopefully that'll be good enough not to crack. Nice. Let's go put it on the car. So, I didn't want to do it, but I think I'm going to have to. This thing's going to come out again. There's a few things I'm going to do, and they can only really be done with the engine out, and being as it's so easy to take out at the moment without having plumbed it all in, I think now is probably the best time to do it. I can't think of anything else I need to do while it's out apart from these 4 things. Number 1, weld that hole up with the new thing that I made. Number 2, wire up the back of the engine bay. Number 3, put a clutch line in. And number 4, sort the exhaust out from the turbos with the new V-band on them. There may be a 5th thing, that is changing the spacer that I've got in the bell housing of the gearbox to a steel one, but I'm half tempted to risk that just for now as an aluminium one. I was happy enough with aluminium in the first place. I will change it to steel, but I think just to test this out, it's not going to be doing massive revs, and I'm going to have to be taking it easy with it, so I'm not too worried about it being aluminium. I might just risk it and change it to steel when I've got a bit more time. So yeah, that's the next thing to do, is pull this thing out. Let's get to it. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. These downpipes, they're all welded up properly now. As you've seen, I put V-bands on the turbine housings. So I put the V-bands on the turbine housings, I put the V-band on the exhaust downpipe, and I put a bracket on each downpipe on both sides, right next to the flexi, to hold all this stable. And that's my one side exhaust pipe. When I start it up, I'm actually going to leave this lot off because, well, noise, V8 noises. Just for completeness. Oh, here's the other side. So here's the other side, goes down there, does the same thing, bracket, V-band down there somewhere, and V-band up there. I'm waiting on one of these for the other side before I can put it on, and you may have noticed it's missing the rest of the turbo because I need to rotate the housings correctly and get the oil feed pipes done. I took the inlet manifold off again. This time when I put it back on, I'm not going to forget to put the gasket back. Anyway, what I've done is, so I cleaned the water bridge up because I had to take it out to weld up oops, that hole there. So this had a pipe coming off, and it would go down the side of the block, back into the block, or out of the block into here. So I welded that up. Then I moved this pipe because I'm changing the rear water bridge. That's the whole reason I've got the inlet off. Changing the rear water bridge for something that doesn't have the EGR stuff on. And what I found was this pipe would come up here and foul this. So I had to take it all off to put this on, to put this in the right place. So while I had this off, I cut it and I put the pipe going out the back instead of coming up here. This one is still going up, but hey, what are you going to do? At least it's out of the way. And the water bridge is back in. The pipe is going to a new place. There's nothing left in the V, so I can put the inlet back on. And the gaskets are there.
So there it is, all finished with some seam sealer and an absolutely horrendous paint job. Doesn't matter though, I'll fix it one day. And then this goes I've got to unclip it. Unclip it from in there. That's how you do it. Unclip it. Unclip it. So that goes the other side of that. Clips in there. This is from an E92. So I think loads of BMWs have these. Mercedes have something similar as well. But it's really handy just to have a separate battery terminal point. And yeah, I can't remember one of these is connected. I think this is connected to this, and then this is connected to this. So I could even put the neutral on here if I wanted to, but it's a little bit close. But yeah, I'm just going to plug this in. Click, click, clickety clack. One, two, three. Click. Oh, solid enough. And then that goes over like that. And I've really thought safely here by putting it right next to the the windscreen wash filler. But that's solid enough, I think. Who knows? There's another cover to go on the back as well somewhere, but I'll launch that somewhere. Oh, it's right there. Maybe it needs a bit of massaging behind there to get it in, but lol. Nope, it's on. Ta-da! Easy job. So, just got to put the engine back in now, get all the wiring back together, and then we can terminate the big wire. Oh, that one. We can terminate the big wire in the right place to fit onto one of them, and then we're ready to rock and roll. What I've had made in the last couple of weeks is a power steering hose, and also one of my Christmas presents was a 3D printer. So I've made these brackets, got some holes there, I need to get some riv nuts to put that in there, but basically that fits in there, and we've got the top that goes over it to keep them in place, and I've got to get the return made. So that's the return from the rack. This is the high pressure feed from the pump. Fits straight onto the pump, to the rack, out of the rack there. Need to make a new one, like I said, through here, and then it goes through a loop in the front of the car and back into the reservoir. Alright, that's enough for today. I'll do the rest of it in the next episode. Hopefully the clutch line's a bit awkward because I can't find anywhere to do it. And I'd like to do it myself because I've done everything else myself. So yeah, next episode, hopefully it'll be clutch lines and coolants and oil lines maybe. We'll see. I don't know yet. I haven't got that far. So thanks for coming and watching. Come back next time and watch the next one. Like, share and subscribe, all these things here, and you know, you just do the bits. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Ciao.